before the passing.
Green lion to the black lion and the black lion to the green lion.
So it's a special livication, you know?
No mercy.
All right, all right, all right. So we're going to talk about some white wizardry tonight. And I know we all heard of the white wizard, Gandalf, and all of that. And that's probably taken from some of these old stories too, because it talked about Merlin in here. I did a video on it. I can't remember which one, but it sure did talked about Merlin. Anyhow, tonight we're going to talk about white wizards, and we're going to try to get a little more light on the subject, because the last couple of videos I did was from this chapter 29, and they were about the three tempters of Lucifer, and it talked about some pretty dark things. If you guys hadn't watched those, I think it's about 3 videos titled titled The Three Tempters of Lucifer. And the last one I titled it Dark Theology, because that's really what it was. They went through here, it was pretty long. Third foul man was a natural scientist from Greece. And then after they gave them his, they were like trying to bribe him. And he said, I see through the mask that the 3 of you wear. And then behold, the 3 foul men became one 3-headed beast, their mask having disappeared. On the forehead of one of the heads of the name was dark religion, and on the forehead of the second was dark commerce, and on the third head was dark science. And so I wanted to do some videos on the white wizards. They're called, in this book, they call them the Green Wizards of the White Rose. I've done a couple of videos. See, I haven't done this yet, but this is the door of the wizard. This is the first scroll of Gilgalad. And let me tell you who Gilgalad was. Let me see if I can find it real quick and show you. Gilgalad means wheel, and she is the chief angel of the branch of force of eternal life. And her name means wheel, and that was a perfect name for her, for the angel of eternal life is the gate master of the wheel of constellations. And that wheel is Ha-Ophan Ha-Gilgal, which means the revolving wheel. Okay, and look what it said about her. It is as though Gilgalad was born to become that angel, for she was the first master astrologer and calendar maker of the Nasareans, and created Nasarean oracles, including Qushab. So this is from Yeshua teaching us about the roots and the branches of the tree of life. So that's a good, we'll eventually get into this, but I just wanted to show you who he said Gilgalad was, because Gilgalad has some scrolls in here. Now, where did I go? Oh, I think it was. I got too many of these things open, but what I'm trying to show you is, yeah, that's the one. The door of the wizard. Because we're talking about white wizards, and this might be one of the videos in this series that I do. I'll probably do this one so you guys could hear about it. The mother ovum consists of countless spheres. Within each sphere are subdivisions of countless spheres. The beings that reside in a sphere deserve to reside in that sphere. Okay, and so when we're talking about white wizards and dark wizards, Yeshua broke it down too, and I have this video on my channel as well, a sermon of Yeshua on the origins of the seraphim and artificials, with teachings on the dragons. And in this scroll, in this sermon, he tells us about the seraphim, and that in worlds long before this world came to be, created artificial souls out of enslaved light in a vain attempt to make themselves eternal beings. And the seraphim, it says, for lo, the seraphim had fallen so low on the ladder of spiritual awareness, that they knew not that they were already eternal beings. And that's what happens when we fall on this ladder. Yeshua called it a ladder of spiritual awareness, but everywhere else I've seen it in this Holy Megillah Nazarean Bible, I've seen it called the ladder of consciousness. And that's what it is. Consciousness is whether you're asleep or you're awake. So the lower you fall into the denser bodies, then we forget who we are. But this is a really good one. Y'all want to go find this one. It talks about Beelzebub and who he is. But I wanted to read to you the end, because what this is about, like I said, this is about white wizards. And yes. Yeah, he starts to tell. Wait a minute. Yeah, see, Beelzebub had cloned himself countless times and in many forms and had seated himself in various worlds. But this is talking about group realities. Let me see, why can't I find the one I want to find now? I guess I got all these things mixed up. I don't know how. Let me just close everything down. Oh, yes, here we are. I need to read this. This was White Wizardry and Group Realities. Okay, so this is where Yeshua and Johann are still in India, and they talked about white wizardry. And Johann asked Yeshua a bunch of questions, but it was all about wizards, white wizards and dark wizards. And listen what he said, because I'm not going to read the whole thing, but he was saying, as you have previously taught me, Johann said to Yeshua, as you have previously taught me, all people are wizards, knowingly or unknowingly, weakly or powerfully, with even the relatively weak having far more power than most imagine. And so Johann's going through this list about what Yeshua taught him. He says, you have taught me that wizards in the most general sense are all who have the power, latent or actualized, to exercise willpower, essentially all beings. So this is what Johann is saying, is that Yeshua taught him that everybody is a wizard. All beings are wizards, whether they know it or not, okay? And then Johann goes on to say that, and it's the same way. You're a wizard, this is what he says. Also, you have taught me that wizards in the most specific sense are those beings aware of the power of their will, their eye to conjure, and who knowingly conjure enchantments or disenchantments in relative harmony or disharmony with the divine will. So that's where the seraphim and the evil spirits and the satans and the lucifers and all that have come from, are by them conjuring disenchantments that are in disharmony with divine will. Okay, and it says in those categories, because you have the ones that know it, and they conjure knowingly good enchantments that are in harmony with divine will. And the white wizards, they'll seek training from white wizards with the aim of improving their ability to manifest goodness in the cause of love, and the dark wizards will seek training from dark wizards with the aim of improving their ability to control their environments to their own personal advantage, regardless of harm to others. White wizards are altruistic, the dark are greedy and selfish, cruel and cunning. You have taught me, this is Johann still talking to Jesus, Yeshua, you have taught me that according to our intentions and methodology, we become good white wizards or bad dark wizards. Most of us passing through various shades as we rise and fall on the rung of consciousness. That's that ladder of consciousness. Okay, and so Johann is still talking, and he's gonna go on and tell him that you have taught me that white wizards conjured in harmony with the divine will by affirming with the angelic chorus of the highest heaven's universal love chants, such as "Let there be light, peace on earth, and goodwill towards all." Okay, so he's still talking, saying, "You have taught me that Nasarean specific enchantments are never out of harmony with universal love chants of Jah and Elohim." So he's saying these are important. If you guys should pause it and read all the stuff he's saying because it's so important. But I want to, then I want to make the video, extra long. So I'm just scooting down. But he ends up saying to Yeshua, "Yesterday, your words caused me to reflect on the fact that though throughout history many high potency white wizards have chanted positive enchantments of universal love, this world is still at war. I ask you, Yeshua, is the seeming incongruity of the belief in the power of positive enchantments to conjure peace and love our belief, and the stark reality of the violence of the world around us despite our chants for world peace, explained by a true understanding of the nature of the interaction between individual ovums and group ovums?" And Yeshua replied, "You asked the key question, Johann, to which I answer yes." So that was just the question right there, was that is the reason why all throughout time, all of these powerful white wizards that have been chanting peace on earth and goodwill and universal love enchantments, but this world's still at war, is it explained by a true understanding of the nature of the interaction between individuals and groups? And the ovums are the eggs. And he said yes, because each being has his authority over its own ovum of light. Within your own ovum of light, you may create the kingdom of heaven within, regardless of the actions of other beings. But co-creating a kingdom of heaven in a group reality is dependent on the thoughts, words, and deeds of many beings. Lo, each being is an I, a drop of the ocean of I am, with willpower and intentions. Your good intentions may be met by the counter intentions of multitudes in a group reality. Wherefore, a group reality is in conflict until the beings that share it come in harmony with the universal love enchantments of Jah. Okay, so he's saying that, listen what he said. Love is the higher reality, but permits freedom of choice, the great freedom. Group realities can be raised and uplifted by degrees by the chanting of universal love enchantments. The positive enchantments of our venerable ancestors, the white wizards of each past age, have kept the human species from entirely drowning in violent waves of darkness. So that was his answer. We, the Nasarean white wizards of this age, contribute to the mighty wave of good set in motion by our venerable ancestors, knowing and trusting that one day the positive enchantments will be met by each group agreement. Will be met by enough group agreement to manifest heaven on earth, which is heavenly embodiment in a resurrected Mother Nature as the shared group reality. So that's the shared group reality that we're all chanting: peace on earth, goodwill. And back here, Johann breaks it down about, he said, "You have taught me that by our life of enchantments, we Nazarene white wizards conjure the Garden of Eden consciousness of heavenly embodiment on this fallen world, with the intentions of returning this world to its original status as a heavenly world, and then to see it ascend unto even higher group realities and even higher heavens." So that's the universal goal. This is a universal enchantment of the Nasarean white wizards, to conjure the Garden of Eden consciousness within yourself, right? And Yeshua makes mention of this again. So that was his answer, was that it's because of our ancestors and those positive enchantments that they chanted back then that that have kept the human species from entirely drowning in violent waves of darkness. Okay. And so, yes, with all those dark wizards and dark crap out there, we can be white wizards of this age. And that's what I just wanted to share, that there are white wizards, and they're not only in Middle Earth, they're here, but they are, you know, like in the middle of this earth, this body, this temple, that's in the heart where you got to go. That's where white wizardry, that's why they're called the green wizards of the white rose, because green is the color of the heart chakra. And you can be a green wizard, especially if you become an herbalist and you start talking to the plants and the trees, and then you start to be, you know, connected to source. Yeshua talks about this in this one that I did this video already on, that I wanted you guys to go and find. And I was telling you that he talks about Beelzebub and the seraphim, but he also ends it with this group reality thing that we really need to know, because with all of the darkness going on, and we're finding out about all these spells and stuff that they do. And when we say they, we're talking about that three-headed beast. That's why it's a they, because it's a system. It's not just a person. It's a system. And this actual one that I told you guys to go find on my channel, where Yeshua talks about these seraphim and artificials and dragons. This one, he really goes into the detail of how they, the system, and what they've been doing and devouring world after world, because it talks about many ovums within the mother ovum. That's that. Anyway, so I'm going to read this last part to you, because this is how he ends that whole teaching on the seraphim. He says, though the seraphim were first to attempt to have eternal life in artificial minds, many other species in many worlds have followed them in their folly, and now they wish to consume the resources of this world and enslave the natural beings. Read the Nasarean book of Enoch in the Megillah, and you will know their plans for this world. I have that on my channel. For lo, Enoch described two paths that may unfold on this world, and there is still time for this world to be saved. Our magical book of prophecy, which is within, that's your heart, within, includes blank pages on which we each can write and conjure positive alternative realities. Okay, listen, creating a positive personal alternative reality is the first task of each being in a contested world. Okay, and so we come down and we end up incarnating into these dense bodies, and we forget what our purpose is. But there, we have it now. Creating a positive, personal, alternative reality. I don't care what's going on in the world. That's not what's going on in your reality. It's the first task of each being in a contested world, because we know we're in a contested world. This used to be a first heaven, but we heard what Johann said, is that that's what the universal love enchantment is all about, is returning this place to its original state, which was a first heaven. Now it's just it's fallen, and it's a contested world. So we got all these dark forces running around here. Listen what he said. The first task is more easily accomplished than the second task, co-creating positive alternative group realities. Individual realities are easier to alter because each being may conjure in its own inner reality. May conjure its own inner reality without the agreement or cooperation of other beings. You don't need anybody to have heaven within. But group realities, they are the result of group agreements and the cumulative thoughts, desires, and deeds of the beings that make up the group consciousness. right? And so we do have white wizards. Listen, Yeshua said, green wizards of the white rose is a positive shared group experience. We work to spread that positive vibration wave into the group consciousness of this contested world via individual and group acts of white magic. We are the antidote to the seraphim and artificials. Yea, and the antidote to black dragons. We are the friends of the unicorns and good fairies. We are the friends of the golden dragons and the silver dragons. Some of us are Elifim, and the rest of us are studying to become initiated members of friends of the Elifim. See that Aleph? That's the first beings. We call them elves, I think now, but that's Aleph. That Aleph shows you the first beings from the first heavens. Yeah, so before the fall. But yes, so all right, I'm probably going to make another couple more videos to get this whole thought out about the white wizards. But guys, thanks for watching and stay tuned. And conjure up some of that good love for all and peace on earth. Yeah, those good enchantments. I'm going to get some more up here. Thanks for watching.
Before the passing.
Green lion to the black lion and the black lion to the green lion.
So it's a specialification, you know?
No mercy come. No mercy come.
Set it.
Mercy forward to the green lion.